Hey everybody, Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. Welcome to the show. Well, Trump is busily making America great again, and it's really ticking off the Democrats and their supporters. That said, John is still on vacation, so we wish him and his wife safe travels still. That being said, again, this is Joe Hakos, running solo. It has some help again tonight on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll have we'll discuss some of Trump's just the process he's using for greatness. Audrey-Russo will be here, and so will Donald-dix if Southern California traffic permits him to do so. So that being said, let's get the show started.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
Yes, political correctness is out. American exceptionalism is back, ready to re-empower our republic as one nation under God by restoring our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, with your host, John Matthews,
the latter-day prophet, saying against the hypocrisies of our time,
and Joe Hakos.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your hosts of the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Hey, once again, it's the Conservative Syndicate. Welcome here. Welcome. Glad you guys can make it. We do appreciate you being out there and listening to us. Again, Joe Hakos here. Flying solo. John is out and about doing whatever John's doing right now on vacation. Hopefully he's being safe, and hopefully sometime he'll get back to us, and it'll be just awesomeness. So just can't wait for him to get back. We do appreciate you guys being there tonight. Audrey-Russo from New York City will be here, and we'll be enjoying her visit, her kind of weekly visit to us. We appreciate Audrey coming by. Also, Donald-dix, if he can get out of the Southern California traffic, Don will be here in the second half of the show. So we appreciate that. Donald Trump today is just out there, make America great again. And as I said in the intro, he is ticking off the Democrats and their supporters. And I don't mean like athletic supporters either, but he's ticking them off anyway. Yeah, Donnie is going to town. I mean, he's meeting with the auto industry, and you hear those on the left. Well, the auto industry was saved by Donald Trump. No, not by Donald Trump, by that Barack Obama guy. No, the auto industry was saved by the American taxpayer. Without the American taxpayer, GM would not be alive. Obama or Osama bin Laden might be dead, but GM might not be alive without the American taxpayer. The same goes for Chrysler too. Okay, let's just remember that one. Fiat Chrysler, or Chrysler Fiat. I don't know who's first on that in that little marriage, but yeah. So, anyways, that's what we got going on today, and we're just trying to keep ourselves alive and listening and keeping our ears to the grindstone. I mean, how's that Trump doing? Let's see. What did he do today? Well, he cleared the way for the Keystone-Pipeline to move on, thus creating some jobs in America. And he said, and we're only going to use American steel. So, if you're a company that produces steel pipe in America, you might have some work coming your way. Same with the Dakota Access Pipeline. It's being reinitiated. Of course, it's renegotiated, and they're going to figure this out. And I have a feeling that these things will be happening. I can see it happening. And the other thing that is happening today, he being President Donald J. Trump, decided to expedite, easy for me to say, expediting environmental reviews at the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Yes, so, because according to those who support Democrats and the left, anybody who opposes the EPA wants to have dirty water, dirty air, let's go on vacation and cut, just burn down a few acres of rainforest, all that fun stuff. Yeah, right. Let's have a little common sense when we do these things. That's all anybody's been saying. Okay, so just wanted to talk about that. One of the things that I found out this morning, and I looked at the Washington Free Beacon and a little piece by Charlie Hoffman, and it's like, wow. One last parting shot from dear Barack Obama. And who's he going to help? None other than his Palestinian friends. The headline reads, Obama admin sent $221 million to the Palestinians in its waning hours. And it goes on to say, hours before President Donald Trump took the oath of office, the Obama administration directed $221 million to be sent to the Palestinian Authority, thus undercutting Republican opposition in Congress to the money transfer. The State Department, still under the helm of Secretary of State John Kerry at the time, informed GOP members of Congress of the action on the morning of Trump's inauguration, according to the Associated Press. And a State Department official and several congressional aides said the outgoing administration formally notified Congress it would spend the money Friday morning. The officials said the former Secretary of State, John Kerry, had informed some lawmakers of the move shortly before he left the State Department for the last time Thursday. Aides said written notification dated January 20th was sent to Congress just hours before Donald Trump took the oath of office. Oh, thank you, AP. What a report. The money to send Palestinians had initially been approved by Congress in 2015 and 2016 by the group of Republican lawmakers objected to the appropriations. Ed Royce, a Republican out of California, Kay Granger, a Republican out of Texas, had placed a hold on the money after actions by the Palestinian Authority to gain membership to certain international organizations. Congressional holds are not binding actions, but are generally respected by the executive branch. Yeah, you forgot who you're dealing with there. Not with the Barack Obama, executive branch. Yeah. Anyways, in this instance, however, President Obama had been working to find a way to get the money to the Palestinian Authority. The Obama administration had for some time been pressing the release for the money for the Palestinian Authority, which comes from the U.S. Agency for International Development, and it will be used for humanitarian aid in the West Bank and Gaza to support political and security reforms, as well as help prepare good governance and the rule of law in a future Palestinian state, according to the notification sent to Congress. In the same notification, the Obama administration was also informed Congress that it would be releasing $4 million for climate change initiatives. The sky's falling. And $1.25 million for a variety of United Nations programs. Yay! As a taxpayer, can I ask for that money back? Please, can I get it back? I think I want to use it on something else. I don't know, little pink. Kitty cat booty hats or something. I don't know, but something else. What a crock of you-know-what. But anyway, but that, Does it surprise me? No. But thanks, Charlie Hoffman, for the piece in the Washington Free Beacon there. Do appreciate that, Charlie. Oh, way to go, Brock. Yeah, you've done it again. Yeah, you piece of work, you. Yeah, just love the guy. Guy's great, man. Meanwhile, the Democrats are out working, and we already know what Maxine Waters said. Maxine said, we should impeach him. We should impeach him for stuff that he hasn't even done yet. Yeah. And guess what? She has friends out there that think the same way. David Brock said as much in the memo that was obtained by the Washington Free Beacon. So, thanks, David. We appreciate your support of the new president and the fact that you think that you can go ahead and get him impeached. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a little break here. And when we come back from the break, Audrey-Russo will be here with us. And I'm sure she'll give us some uplifting things to talk about. And so let's pay some bills. We'll be right back. This is Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back after some short messages.
We're not arguing, we're explaining why we're right. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. 866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you have been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Yeah, Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate, and I have with me from Real Talk with audrey-russo. Audrey-Russo! Hey, Audrey, how are you doing?
How you doing, Joe?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit frazzled, but I'm all right. I'm going to hang in there. I can do this.
Of course you can.
I can do it. I can do it without a mouse. Hey, Audrey, where truth speaks louder than words.
That's right.
Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere before.
Yeah, I made it up. I did.
Cool. How you doing, Audrey?
I'm doing good because the Rangers they're on a little winning streak. I think it's 3 games.
Yeah. I'm going to be nice to you.
You should actually, because we might. I think we're going to get deep into the playoffs this year.
Oh, this. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just when you think Lundqvist is finished, yeah, because I'm not his biggest fan. You remember something? I'm a Mike Richter fan. All right, so I'm going to compare everyone to him, and most of them lose against Mike Richter. So.
Okay, well, except Mario. But anyhow. And these people, we got some folks out there going, what the heck are they talking about?
Hockey.
Yeah, I get you, but,
Yeah, listeners, the NHL. See, that's the sport to watch. Skill, talent, speed. It's got everything, even fisticuffs.
Yeah, you got sticks in your hand, knives on your feet, and you can hit people.
I never thought about that. Yeah, that's right. But it's all clean fun.
Well, yeah, except if you're a Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, then there's nothing clean about it. Anyhow, we're getting way off base here, but I enjoy it. I can talk hockey all day long. I don't care. But anyhow, yeah, because the Pens will be on here in about 40 minutes. So
right.
Yeah, but now it'll be on a whole nother network, and I'm gonna miss at least an hour of the game because I'm dedicated to this. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. You could always watch it later. So
well, it's on NBC, so I hate those guys.
I hate those. Yeah, boo.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgruntled former employees on there. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious. Every one of my guys on there is a disgruntled former Penguins employee.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean. Eddie Olczyk, fired coach.
Sure.
Pierre McGuire, fired front office guy.
Really? Really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like but then you got the Flyer guy Jones doing stuff intermission, and Mike Marbury. You just won't get over the old Samuelson thing that happened in the playoffs a long time ago. So,
really? You think why? Because he brings it up every once in a while?
Well, he just can't get over it. No, and I think it's every time they see a Stanley Cup, it just kills them.
That's mean.
Yeah, whatever. It could be Democrats for all I know.
Oh gosh, that would kill me. Yeah, I don't even want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know either.
I won't like him anymore. I like Milbury. I do. I mean, he's all right. I like
his
assessments. He's all right. He can be tough, which I don't mind. I like Jeremy Roenick, but you hardly ever see him doing color commentary.
Well, very, very rarely, unfortunately. I kind of like him too. So. Yeah, it's good. But for some folks, they just don't understand. The rules are difficult. I'm like, what's so difficult?
No, they're not. Let me tell you something. If there's ladies listening, they're thinking, what in the world? I wanted to learn it not because my husband asked me to. He didn't. I just was interested, and he liked it. So I thought, hey, and I got the rule book, and I learned hockey. Okay,
it's not that difficult.
Not to play it. I'm not a feminist. Okay, I'm a good fan, and I learned it. And I watched it, and now I love it. That is my top sport. Used to be long time ago. It used to be baseball until they got pretty cruddy. And I'm not talking about the game itself. I'm talking about the business. Yeah. The NFL, and I'm boycotting them right now because of Kaepernick and some other things. They're social engineering. Yes. They ruin sport for me. I'm going to have to become a college football fan. That's what I'm going to have to become.
Well, I don't know who you're going to pick on up there.
I don't know. My school.
You have your pick. You got all kind of folks you can pick on up there. I mean, you got Rutgers or something. I don't know.
Oh,
if you want to pick on a Jersey team,
yeah, no, I'll have to go for military school. Yeah, I will have to.
Oh, you're just going to go for West Point? Go for the cadets?
Probably, yeah. That's probably the only Army Navy game I ever went to with my late dad. He took me to West Point. Yeah.
Oh, that'd been fun though. I mean, I went to a Navy game a long time ago. It was a whole nother century.
But it was a lot of fun. But because I do love the sport, love to watch the sport. But the NFL, man, they don't get rid of Goodell, the social engineer. I'm just not going to. He's just a coward. He's a leftist. I can't stand the guy, and he's ruining the sport for me. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. So I had already loved the NHL. Now they're number one.
Yeah.
NHL's number one. Yeah.
Well, you know what I tell people? They need to go see an NHL game. Don't go to see, some farm team hockey. Although it depends on where it's at. You might see something decent, but go see an NHL game, and that will do it for you.
Incredible. There's words. Yeah, words cannot describe the excitement. You want high energy sport? Just watch that. And I mean skill. I mean talent, strength. It has everything.
That's what I'm getting at because the things they'll do on skates. It's like, whoa! How the heck they do that?
It's amazing. It really is.
And that's what I'm talking about. But you have to see and the speed at which you're doing it. That's what I'm getting at. If you go see, if you go see a good college hockey game, I would say, yeah, that'd be all right. But, sometimes these ECHL games or something, not so much, and then you get into the stereotypical, there's a fight breaking out. Gee, yeah, thanks,
They could always watch midget hockey. That's a lot of fun. Midget. Oh, let me see. Do they have? I'm not politically correct, so I'm going to call it midget hockey. But midget hockey is adorable as little kids.
Oh, kids! Little kids! Oh, yeah. But they tick me off because they'll skate around you and then you can't catch them. Little.
Yeah, they're just fast enough that you can't catch them.
Yeah, yes. A little. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're funny because they try to imitate.
I'll get you go to your car, kid.
Yeah, you're right. Oh gosh, yeah. So I went way off base here, right? Yeah. Executive orders.
I'm thinking that Trump did some of his speech today. I mean, here we go. In his speech, America will start winning again, winning like never before. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. We'll bring back our wealth. We will bring back our dreams. Here we go. We will build new roads and highways, bridges and airports, tunnels and railways all across our wonderful nation. We will get our people out of welfare and back to work. We're building our country with American hands and American labor.
Yeah.
Sounds a little bit like, hey, let's get the Keystone-Pipeline going.
Well, yeah, he already took, he's the two executive orders, four executive order minimizing the economic burden of the patient, of Obamacare.
Yeah, Obamacare.
Pending repeal, which it will be. And it wouldn't matter whether they repealed or not. It's going to collapse on its own.
Yeah, but let's repeal it. Let's get rid of the law. Let's take away the penalties.
Yeah, well, they wanted a single-payer system, just like you have in every other. Yeah, I mean, you have it up in Canada, and it becomes then not about the patient or the doctor. It becomes an economic issue. And do you really want your life under whether it's feasible to do it for the state? I mean, I always think of the Twilight Zone's the obsolete man.
Yes.
Because this is what it is when you start doing things like that.
Cut me, Mick. Oh, it's Burgess Meredith, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's him. And then, of course, he did the executive order expediting environmental reviews. He's not doing away with, the reviews. He's just expediting them. Here they take a long time so that the people, lose interest or waste a lot of money waiting.
Yeah.
Also approvals for high priority infrastructure projects, just like you said. And the pipeline and, well, he's bringing jobs back. It's America first. I don't know if you saw this tweet.
I probably did.
Actually by Bill Kristol.
Yeah, I did see that one.
Which one is that?
The Bill Kristol one where he said, let's see, it's vulgar or something, I believe it was?
Yes, he said it was profoundly, he found it profoundly depressing and vulgar to hear an American president proclaim America first. I'm sorry. He's a neocon, okay? So at one time, long time ago, he was a liberal. I think that maybe there's some dementia there, and now he's forgetting who he is now and has gone back to those days, because how in the world can you make a statement like that?
Well, they're going back to the Charles Lindbergh time, America first, the isolationist kind of crap.
But see, that's not what, look at the two words, America first.
I get that.
Yeah. So where are they getting, what is this, what is attached to that? That's not a nationalist statement. That's America first, not America last or not at all. America first, because that's where we were, and also let's not forget. Also, I just go back to him. He canceled the Mexico City policy.
Yes.
Remember, that was taking our tax dollars and paying for abortions overseas.
Yeah,
that's gone. That's history now. Mm-hmm. Thank God for that.
Yeah, he's been busily, as I said, ticking off the supporters of the Democrats. Just one after another. He's just going to town. I'm enjoying it. Is it going to be completely conservative and follow the Constitution to a T? I don't know, but it's a hell of a lot better than Hillary Clinton was ever going to do. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you something. It's better than Bush. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Remember, he wasn't a conservative, fiscal conservative at all. That's for sure.
That's obvious. Yeah.
But he led us to believe that. But he did an expansion of the government. It's disgusting. He also, let's not forget that President Trump also put a freeze on federal hiring.
Federal hiring.
So,
yes.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Now, was that federal hiring for except for the DOD, correct?
Yes, except for what it pertains to national security. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's a lot of. Do you remember when we had that skeleton crew of 100,000 people that was running the country, which meant that there was about 800,000 people that were not necessary to run the country. Yeah, think about that.
They're called non-essential.
Yeah, they're non-essential. Well, then what the hell are we paying you for? Right?
Well,
I mean, come on.
Of course, yeah, but yeah, exactly. Non-essential is non-essential, so it's like, okay, but it's like who deems that? Who deems that? And so it's kind of one of those things we have to watch out for. But yeah, he's done quite a bit, and let's see, it hasn't been a week yet, has it?
It's only been a couple of days.
Yeah,
officially. Yeah.
No, I saw what's her name. Nikki Haley got approved to be UN secretary or ambassador or whatever representative to the UN, whatever it is she's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not a Nikki Haley fan.
Yeah, whatever. I think it's some kind of bone they're throwing her and saying, "Hey, Nikki, way to go, way to support us" or something. I don't know what that is. Unless she goes there and says, "Hey, I want the UN to leave." Other than that, I'm not really thrilled about the UN being around to begin with.
No, we should pull out. We should pull out. Forget about putting stopping the money. Let's pull out of the UN. That's something we need to do.
I'm thinking we could charge a lot of damn good money for the rent in that little location they had there in New York.
Unfortunately, some schmuck in the past gave it. I forgot who it was, and I hate to say this because it might have been a Republican. Gave the UN that land.
Oh, seriously? Oh, well, that's just.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to have to take a break and pay some bills in.
Okay.
Okay. So, hey, this is Joe Hakos with Audrey Russo here from Real Talk. And here on the Conservative Syndicate, we're going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back after we get done doing that. So stick around with us, folks. We'll be right back.
Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-380-2906. That's 800-380-2906. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-380-2906.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Okay. We have paid some bills, and we are back. This is Joe Hakos here with Audrey-Russo here on the Conservative Syndicate. And no, Audrey, I did not add the highlights. That was done by somebody there.
Highlighted that then.
It wasn't me. I picked some of those, but it's not me. So,
okay.
Was not me. I just, I'm old-fashioned. It's just easier rather than type it in and go, no. I just rather just tell you no. I'm just I'm old technology. The spoken word. I get,
that's really old technology.
Yeah, really. It's kind of like, why are you texting when you can just use your phone as a phone?
Yeah, sometimes it's not convenient to do that.
Well, I understand, depending on where you might be, but then again, you don't necessarily have to have someone listening. But if you know they're just somebody you're just going to talk to and they're by themselves, what's the point?
Well, yeah, that's true. But when you're someone like me that's on the phone all the time for work, you don't want to talk with anyone. No offense to anyone.
Yeah. So if she's not ignoring you.
No, I don't. I answer my texts back, but it's difficult. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I understand. I'll just turn the damn thing off. Hey, let's talk a little bit about President Trump's inauguration speech. Let's do that. Did you? I know you listened to it and you heard it, and you've probably listened to it a couple times already. Is there anything that really stood out to you that was really awesome? Because there's quite a few lines I thought were absolutely fantastic.
He stuck to his guns, so to speak. He's a new sheriff in town, and he did. He did not, well, he's not a politician. He did not go back on, with politicians, we expect them, unfortunately, to lie. But he was not lying, and he just reiterated what he said on the campaign trail.
Yeah, yes, I loved it. And so, here, I'll give you an example. And this is where I wrote down some highlights. Let's see if I can find those. Oh, there it is. I said, he's put the establishment on notice. It was what I thought he really did, especially at the beginning of the speech, was things like, today's ceremony, however, has a very special meaning because today we're not merely transferring power from one administration to another, from one party to another, but we are transferring the power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people.
Yeah, you could almost hear them cringing. Now, I'm talking about the establishment here. I'm not talking about the Democrats. We already know where they stand, but the establishment is much like them.
Yes, on both sides.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about our side.
Yes.
The establishment on our side is just as bad as the Democrats.
Yeah, and then and in the next line, this really does it. Actually, the next two lines. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital have reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected
itself. Yeah, exactly.
But not the citizens of the country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumph has not been your triumphs. And while they celebrate in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That changes starting right here and right now, because This moment is your moment. It belongs to you. I think he...
There it is. There it is.
I think he named it right there when I said the establishment on notice, when he said the establishment.
And they know who they are.
Yeah, and they know who they are. And I was surprised they were able to sit upright, sitting behind him.
Yeah, the first one that pops into my mind, actually 3 pop into my mind right away on our side. Paul Ryan, boo hiss, Lindsey Graham, and John McCain.
Yes, and
establishment.
Mitch McConnell.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, those 3 pop into my mind right away. Mitch McConnell, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan especially. And it's like, well, Ryan comes from a mostly Democrat district, so he's going to have to, he's going to have to appeal to the folks.
I don't give a flying Walenda. That's not what he's hired for.
Thank you.
You want to be on the other side. I don't care if you have a mostly Democrat. Who cares? You're put in office for something. Serve the people. Stop serving yourself. They're busy serving themselves. He nailed it right there. They are serving themselves.
Yes.
It's amazing to me. Tell me the last job you had where you could vote yourself, you can exclude yourself from a bad healthcare system, that you can, they give themselves a waiver because remember they have to have Cadillac insurance. But tell me where you voted yourself a raise. I mean, these things have to be shifted back over to the people. I'm sorry. We need to have a referendum if someone's going to get it in the district, in your district, in your state. We should be voting in a referendum whether they get a raise or not. It's outrageous.
Well,
it's incredible.
Not only a raise, we should have the ability to say, well, if you're not going to be in D.C. killing me with unnecessary regulations and laws and out screwing around, whatever it is you want to call it, if you're not in D.C. working in session, then you don't need to be paid. Yeah,
well, but let's start with this. We need to see, it has to be in the people's hands because they are not going to do it. You tell me.
Oh, they're not going to do it.
They're going to vote themselves. When they leave, they should not. They stay long enough to get a pension, and that's for the rest of their lives. They and their families will get their Cadillac health insurance for the rest of their lives. That should not be. No pension. Once you leave office, no health care for you. You go on your own just like a regular citizen. It is disgusting. It's offensive that these people, and they vote this in for themselves. Now it's time for the people to be able, there needs to be a referendum for those items. Because it pertains, let me see, can anybody say freaking conflict of interest?
It never happens.
Yeah, but it is a conflict of interest.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. Do I think you're going to vote no for a raise? No for Cadillac insurance? Do I really believe that?
Well, yeah. Well, you could have the sham no. That's what McConnell was good for. These other votes. It's just, I got the votes to have it passed. I'll just say vote no, and it looks good on me. Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, when it comes to those things, I'd say other things you're handling, that's what you're hired to handle. But when it comes to whether you get a raise, whether you get a higher option health insurance, whether you get a pension and how much you get, that should be in our hands to decide because we are the boss. Where does the employee get to do this?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's going to have to come down to a convention of states and stuff like that. I think the first thing it has to be done is term limits. Absolutely. It's going to have to be done at the state level.
Do you really think they're going to vote term limits for themselves?
Oh, it's going to have to be done at the state level. Convention of states, that's where it's going to have to. The legislatures are going to have to force this upon Congress.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah, something has to happen. But I see that the first step here by putting, our president in there, Donald Trump. Now these other things have to be dealt with because what enormous amounts of money that is? What they are sucking up in resources for themselves, the Congress, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It really is. So that's got to end, and it has to be in the hands of those who should be making those decisions. When it comes to your own personal things, we are going to take care of that, and we'll let you know. We'll look at your scorecard, and let's see what you're doing, how long you're spending on the job itself, and we'll see if you get a raise. And we'll see if you get – there's no reason why they should have a pension. This was not supposed to be a career. Ask the founders.
Yeah, gee.
Yeah.
Oh, the founders, those guys, those ancient guys. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I get that. Here's a line. Let me read this from the speech, and then we'll go to a break and come back and see what you think about this one, because this is the one that really has the MSNBCs of the world going perplexed. They're just absolutely apoplectic about it because of the words here. But for too many of our citizens, the reality, a different reality exists. Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation. An education system flush with cash, but leaves our young and beautiful students deprived of all knowledge. And the crime and the gangs and the drugs that have stolen too many of our lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here, stops right now. Yeah. So think about that one as we go to a break. We're going to take a real short break here, and then we'll be right back. So Joe Hakos with Audrey-Russo here on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll pay these bills, and then we'll be right back, folks.
Since its founding, America has always been admired and envied throughout the world for its system of government, one that empowers its citizens to seek their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No other country or nation in history has benefited from its diversity simply due to the opportunities available to anyone from anywhere. But there have been and are those who envy our freedom for a very different reason. And today we find ourselves as never before being threatened by this formidable foe intent on our destruction. For this reason, Act for America exists. Act for America is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan, grassroots national security organization with over 300,000 members and 1,000 chapters focused on educating, engaging, and mobilizing citizens and elected officials to impact legislative outcomes to protect America against terrorism both here and abroad. As a result, our network has driven the education process toward the successful passage of 43 bills in 22 states. We continue to expand our nationwide volunteer chapter network, training citizens to recognize and help prevent criminal activity and terrorism in the United States while preserving the civil liberties protected by the United States Constitution. To find out more, check us out at actforamerica.org. That's actforamerica.org.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
Yeah, American. That's what we speak here. American. Yeah. Hey, Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate with Audrey-Russo. Audrey, welcome back here. Hey, let me turn this down so we can hear each other talk. Hey, okay. What did you think about that? The carnage stops the carnage stops right here, right now.
I love it, especially because he nailed it on the education system. My undergraduate work was in education. I love working with kids, and I love to help them. What shall we say? They say facilitate learning. No, I like to help them to learn. Okay. Yeah. And what I saw, and the stronghold that the NEA had on the whole curriculum, which parents were just allowing to happen, made me sick. I couldn't stand the system, and I left it. I didn't want to be involved anymore. I'm teaching instead, on the air. That's a bit better way to do it, and I'm involved in the arts too that way. But he nailed it. What you have is, look, it's time to take this country back. We now have a president who has our back. It's going to be step by step. Start with our speech, which is the First Amendment. Stop practicing political correctness. It's not funny. It's not cute. The left is benefiting from it, so knock it off. Okay?
Yeah.
It's up to us to do that. Just stop it. Remember something also. Who works for us? They work for us. The school system works for you. The politicians work for you. You don't work for them. You're not serving them. You're not a serf. They work for you. Remember that. Remember that.
Well, Donald Trump said in his speech, a nation exists to serve its citizens.
Hello.
Not residents, not illegal aliens. It's citizens.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember something. I love this episode, and it really says it's pretty poignant from the Twilight Zone, which is the obsolete man.
Yeah.
This is what you get. Then you will get a state that decides it's God, and it tells you whether you are obsolete or not.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what we're fighting. That's what we're, in essence, that's what we're fighting here.
Yeah, I love that Twilight Zone episode. It's awesome. I watched it quite a few times. Never saw it though. No, never saw it. But yeah, but I jest. Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times. And actually, the fact that it was done in the early '60s, I think that was, is just like. Just makes me think, what was going on back then that he wanted to go ahead and produce such a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so poignant, and it's like, wow, that is.
He fought in World War II. He knew.
Yeah.
He knew what communism was all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, did you see where Trump told the congressional leadership today that illegals cost him the popular vote?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Say that
Trump
again.
told congressional leadership today that he says illegals cost him the popular vote. Illegals voted cost him.
I believe he was correct. If you took the illegal vote out of California, he would have had the popular vote. Because if you don't think a lot of illegals, remember something. Just days before the election, Obama he was not hiding it. He said it in the speech. He was encouraging illegals to vote. Okay, so and California is so illegal friendly. So they were voting. So clearly, if someone did the research, I'm sure we'd find out that he's correct. I know that Sean Spicer said that the president believes that. He wasn't going to get into that conversation with the press, but I believe he's correct.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me a bit, but then again, that just really... We as a nation should bring that up, not in another 40 months from now, but we should probably bring it up in another 4.5 hours from now.
Yeah.
It needs to be taken care of. Without the sanctity of a vote, then why even have an election?
Why have an election? Why have citizenship? They have watered it down. They have, excuse the expression, urinated on the Constitution, the left. They want to make citizenship, with open borders, that anybody could, I've heard left talk about illegals is that they're entitled to nothing. You're entitled to nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Entitled to. My Aunt Fanny, okay? You're entitled to nothing. You take a chance when you break the law. That's the first law that you break when you cross our borders illegally. That's the first law that you break. Let me ask you something, Joe. If you had an illegal, you didn't have you had a fake license, okay? I think you're going to see some prison time. What do you think?
Now?
Yeah.
It depends on where you're at now.
Wait a minute, you're a white male. I think that you're going to see some prison time.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. If I don't do a lot of things, I'll see some prison time.
Yeah, when they say, they just broke the law by crossing the border, that's the first law that they've broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's law after law after law. And so they're supposed to be shown compassion.
Well, that's the term illegal. Yeah,
but Americans are paying for everything.
Well, yeah.
They're not to be shown any compassion, right? Why? There's no explanation as to why Americans who have to pay for all this. What about the tens of thousands that have been murdered by illegals?
Well, we're also paying 49 as a fiscal year 2015. We paid $49.4 million to Mexico. for democracy and governance and economic development and education and social to help their little place keep their people happy. What do they use that money for? Well, they just let those people come across our border so we can take care of their happy little butts.
And they send money back there by the billions.
Yeah. So it's costing us big time. We're giving them our tax dollars.
It's America on first, and we're proud of it. We're not national. We're proud of it. America first. We've had enough. This country has had enough of being abused, about people wiping their feet on us. And I won't say what else. We're tired of people like Obama, what he did, apologizing for us all over the world.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we are tired of it, and we're not going to. President Trump is the first. That's the first sign. Okay, to everyone, we've had it. Okay, so take that as a warning, Congress.
Well, what it is, hey, everybody, don't think it's time to just sit back and kick back and drink a beer. You better get off your duff and make it happen some more, because those people aren't going to do anything if you don't stay on. If you don't keep your throat or your shoe on their throat, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, look, the left is patient and diligent and vigilant.
Oh, yeah.
It's up to us to be. Our enemies are not asleep. The enemies of freedom are alive, and so, unfortunately, because of Obama, are well. So we have to make them ill again and let them.
Yeah, the David Brocks of the world are out there plotting on Obama's impeachment, no less.
Well, impeachment for what? They were a bunch of morons.
Well, they don't really have to have a reason,
They don't even know what they're talking about.
Well, they don't have to have a reason. I mean, Maxine Waters doesn't have to have a reason. They just want to go ahead and muck up the system to make and deflect everything and make it harder to get anything done.
It doesn't. Well, it's up to the Republicans whether they let them do that or not.
Well, yeah, and then we know what we have there. That's what I'm saying. You got to keep your foot right on their throat and make sure it happens, because it's not over by a long shot. Audrey, we're coming up towards the end of the show here, and I know you have things going on that you want to tell people about.
Absolutely. The show this week, 3, as I say, Fabu guests direct from Sweden. Mona Walter will be back with us. Of course, we're going to be talking about Islam. Then a new guest, Dr. Scott Barber, will be with us, and he's going to be talking about it does involve Obamacare, but it's the VA hospitals, and he knows because he's worked in some of them. So it's a pretty grim situation. We're going to see. Hopefully, we will see that to begin to turn around. And author of American Betrayal, Diana West, will be back with us. It's going to be a great show.
So when can folks hear about this now? When can they?
Well, it first airs live on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to audrey-russo.com. You click on the on-air button, and you're there.
Yeah, okay. And then you can get it anytime you want after that with your Spreaker account or whatever that is you got going on. Is that correct?
There, but actually it's on some other stations too. It gets picked up from there from Friday through Monday. There's terrestrial stations that will have it there. You'll have to go to the website, audrey-russo.com. You'll see where it is.
Yeah, that's where you find out all this good stuff. Yeah. Well, Audrey, it's been really great to have you on once again. So I hope we can do this again. Maybe John will be around next time, sometime. I don't know. I really don't know.
He's vacationing, and I hope he's having a great time.
I hope he's being safe, yeah.
Thanks so much. I had a great time. What a blast. Listen, have a what's today? I don't even know what today is. It's Tuesday.
I'm looking at the my computer says Tuesday.
Okay, I'm mixed up. Listen, have a great week. God bless. I'll see you
Audrey,
next week.
You too. You be safe.
Thanks.
All right. Bye. Hey, everybody. Audrey Russo from Real Talk Radio there. audrey-russo.com. Okay. That's Audrey, A-U-D-R-E-Y, Russo, R-U-S-S-O.com. Okay, so check out Audrey and have some fun and enjoy her show and catch her live there on Thursday. Okay, so we're coming up to the top of the hour here. We have to do some Edwards Notebook and pay some bills and do get the second half of the show kicked into gear. Okay, so Joe Hako's here on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
If a group of black Chicago thugs beat up and torture a white guy who supports Donald Trump, who in their right mind gives a rip if the thugs hated their victim or not? Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, the last time I checked, you, myself, and every other American have unalienable rights, which include the right to choose who to support for President of the United States. Our unalienable rights come from God and cannot be obstructed by an abusive government or knuckle-dragging thugs. You have the right to live for your own sake, not according to the will of criminals in or outside of government. It was unbelievable to learn that Chicago law enforcement officials struggled to charge the thugs because they couldn't discern if it was a hate crime.
Hate crime! Hate crime! Hate crime!
Well, who cares? How about assault and battery for starters? The thugs even had a female cheerleader who recorded those imitators of vicious chimpanzees. I don't care if those black thugs hated their white victim or not. Throw the bums in jail for a long, long time and let them sort out how they feel for decades behind bars. I'm Ron Edwards.
Blowing away the myths and revealing the truth. You can continue to blow away the myths with Ron Edwards on Facebook, Twitter, and theronedwards.com.
History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them the potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either.
Yes, political correctness is out. American exceptionalism is back, ready to re-empower our republic as one nation under God by restoring our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, with your host, John Matthews.
The latter-day prophet, weighing against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together we seek to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your hosts of the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
Hey, Joe Hakos here. Second hour number 2 of the Conservative Syndicate. Glad you could be here. Please, folks, remember, check out our website. Go to the website, theconservativesyndicate.net, and you can find out, you can get the archives of the show, find out about panel members, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, you can check everything out there and be able to, find out what we need. A little chat here with Donald-dix, and again, the Southern California traffic has him again. They got you again, Don. But Don, so he's going to try to be here, so that's good. So we'll patiently await Don's arrival to the show again. No, it's all good. Just be safe, Don. That's what we got to do. It's just be safe. All right. So, so I hope you guys enjoyed that first hour. Just a little highlights. Remember, we talked a little bit about Donald Trump and what he did today, and then what he did today through Executive Order. He's given the green light to, the Keystone-Pipeline. And it's like, Why not? Maybe, just maybe, the Department of Energy will actually fulfill its charter and see that America is energy independent. Wow. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Wouldn't cheaper gas prices for people be something, huh? Wouldn't more abundant energy be something? You know what? I don't really, I don't have anything against the alternative energy sources. It's just I don't want to have to subsidize it with my tax dollars. Not when there's proven energy sources out there that we could use. Yeah, we just got to make that happen. That's all there is to it. Just got to make it happen. It's just unbelievable sometimes what these people think they can get away with there in Washington D.C. But yeah, it really shouldn't surprise us none. And unfortunately, we've been getting used to it as a people, and we got to stop it. We need to hold those folks in that little area of the country called Washington, D.C. accountable for their actions. People like, I don't know, Maxine Waters. Let me see if I can find this. Let me cue this up a little bit.
California, who also plans
Let me see
to
if I can
skip
cue this up here. This is Maxine Waters, and she was with on MSNBC. And Maxine is calling for Donald Trump's impeachment over what Maxine's great and wonderful leader, Barack Obama, already said doesn't exist. But when I hold people accountable, this is what I'm talking about.
And so I think that's a legitimate discussion.
Well, let's talk about where that leads to, Congresswoman. You've raised a good point here. I guess for you it is important. If we find out that somebody on behalf of Donald Trump was on the phone or in email relations with somebody in Russia or the ambassador to America from Russia, and there was some sort of, as you call it, collusion, then what? Does that make Trump subject to impeachment? What do you mean by not legitimate? Just generally what you mean by the term.
Well, here's
if you find out there was a connection, there was collusion, your term.
Well, here's what I'm trying to get to. If we discover that Donald Trump or his advocates played a role in helping to devise strategy, if they're the ones who came up with crooked Hillary, if they're the ones who came...
Yes, because Donald Trump and his advocates all came up with hey, Hillary, why don't you put an illegal private email server in your damn bathroom? Yeah, Donald Trump made her do that. Oh, I'm sorry, Maxine. Oh, let me continue on. Sorry, but sometimes it just drives me nuts. Okay, so yeah, it was Donald Trump made her do all that stuff. Right, okay, hold on.
Devise strategy, if they're the ones who came up with crooked Hillary, if they're the ones who came up with she's ill, something's wrong with her energy.
Yeah, Donald Trump made her collapse there at the 9/11 site. Yeah, in the middle of a nice 70-degree pleasant day. Yeah, it was Donald Trump made her do that. Oh, no, okay. Sorry. Let me go on.
And the way that he basically, described her in the campaign, I think that is something that would put the question squarely on the table whether or not he should be impeached.
So you think you can have an impeachable offense before you take office, in other words?
Well, I think that at the point that investigations discover and can confirm and document any of that they had a role in helping to strategize, they had a role in attempting to determine the outcome, that in many ways they used the information that they got from the DNC when they hacked into our emails, etc. If that was used against Hillary Clinton in some ways, yes, I think that's impeachable.
I think that's insane. And she's been in Congress long enough to get a pension, actually. Unbelievable. The people of Los Angeles, California, where she represents, who she represents, they ought to impeach her, call her butt back. It's like ridiculous. Oh, the fact is, it's just insane to think that that's what's going on in our nation right now. Maxine Waters, but it's part of their plan. As I said, it's part of their plan. Confidential David Brock memo, defeat Donald Trump, defeat Trump through impeachment. This is, again, Washington Free Beacon, Joe Schaufstall. This was from a couple days ago, folks. All right. Some of you might have heard of it. Some of you might not have. And a confidential David Brock memo obtained by the Washington Free Beacon lays out the Democratic operatives' plans to use his numerous organizations to take down President Donald Trump through impeachment. Have you heard that before? Somewhere just recently in the last 10 minutes. For example, Brock is currently at the Turnberry Isle Resort in Ventura, Florida, for a weekend conference with more than 100 major liberal donors. Attendances are mapping out a course to combat the newly sworn-in president. We're going to talk a little bit more about this after I go to a break. I'm going to have to go to a break and come back, and we'll see what happens here. Don might be showing up here. He said he might be a little late, but let's go to we'll do this little break, and then we'll come on back, and I'm going to continue to talk about this memo thing. These people and their little agenda to impeach Donald Trump. Okay. Joe Hakos here on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
You can catch all our archives at theconservativesyndicate.net. The Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first, and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
Whoa! All right. Joe Hagos, I'm still here, still running this thing, just kicking it, yeah, running it hard, yeah. All right. Hopefully we'll have donald-dix on here pretty soon. Don hasn't gotten back to me saying, hey, I can't make it. I'm stuck behind a vegetable truck somewhere. So I think Don will show up eventually here. And we were just talking about how our friends in the Democrat Party and their supporters, folks like David Brock, want to go ahead and try to impeach President Donald Trump. Maxine Waters wants to do it for things Trump, quote unquote, did prior to being president. And our friend David Brock just wants to do it because, well, he's a leftist and he's got money and he can go ahead and do that kind of thing. Yay for him. According to a reading from the Joan Schofstall article in the Washington Free Beacon, according to the private and confidential memo, Brock plans to defeat Trump through impeachment using American Bridge, his liberal super PAC, as a main vehicle to do so. I love this. I love this, how this works out, what this thing says. This is just wow. No other progressive organization has the resources and the assets that American Bridge has amassed over the past several election cycles to hold Trump, his administration, and politicians accountable. The 44-page confidential memo states. 44-page, that's a freaking novel. Anyways, only Bridge stands ready with staff already hired, Trump's web of business ties mapped out, and a massive video archive at our fingertips. Yeah, go to the memo and it's like the overarching strategy. This is right from the memo itself, page 1. At least page 1 that I can. As we move through our fourth election cycle, the vision of the Bridge as a permanent progressive infrastructure is coming to fruition. We are beginning to see the full value of our investment and researching and tracking candidates over multiple cycles. Hit piece. What, 200,000 hours of videos, 298 candidate research books, and the largest available archive of Trump research in the Democratic Party. They can't even get it right themselves. It's the Democrat Party. Fool. We are uniquely prepared to take on the Trump administration, defeat Republicans who enable it, and rebuild progressive power in the states. Yeah, keep on going out and burning stuff down and breaking it and calling people and kicking people and doing all what you're doing now. You guys are really helping your cause. Keep on doing it. Please keep on doing that. Our new Trump war room, launched within weeks of the election, is already scrutinizing the presidential transition and will diligently watchdog the personnel, policies, and practices of the administration. Our purpose is to keep Trump unpopular and to make it more difficult for candidates who support him to get elected in 2018. That's next year, people. Remember earlier in the show, me and Audrey both said, you can't lie on your laurels here. You can't take a breather. These people aren't going anywhere. They are out. They're out for blood, and they want it. The idea here is you need to tear down the Democrats and their agenda. Tear it down completely. Send it back. Send their agenda back to I don't know. I'd like to send it back to 1912, actually. but I'll settle for 64. Actually, I'd like to send it back to 1948. That would work a little well. I don't know if we could send it back to pre-FDR times, but we need to tear down their agenda. It's just if you just toss a few pieces of their agenda out, trust me, they get back in power in 2 years, they're going to be right back to it, harder than ever. They're not going anywhere. It's time to defeat them. If you thought you dodged a bullet, you might not get another chance. So get off your duff and make sure these people do what they're supposed to do. And if you're a Democrat, keep doing what you're doing. It's working really great. Keep on with that. That sounds great. Keep on with all that. Brock goes on to say in his 44-page memo, the right will bolster Trump aggressively and deceptively. Deceptively, they'll bolster him. Deceptively. Ooh. The campaign to stop them must be nonstop. Adam, what did I say? Did I just say they're not going to stop? At American Bridge, it has already begun. The piece goes on to claim that Brock's group claims to have more than 200,000 hours of video. We've already went through all that. Within weeks of the election, they did the war. Here you go. The state-of-the-art Trump war room will strive to uncover details of the Trump affection for Russia and Putin. Right. And would it have done the same thing for Hillary and Putin? Uranium One Ross Atom deal, 20% of America's uranium just go to Vladimir Putin? What, Clinton gets millions of dollars to the Clinton Global Initiative? Any word about that? Oh, that's right. We don't talk about those things here at American Bridge. Yeah. They're tracking Trump's foreign domestic business partners, contracts and projects in foreign countries, right? And negotiations on potential future projects that he could use to put personal profit ahead of our national security. Oh, personal profit ahead of national security. Again. Uranium One, Ross Atom. Just amazing. Just amazing that, that these folks will even say that, it's okay if Hillary does that crap, but Trump, oh my goodness, he's evil. We can't. Unbelievable. We're trying to get Don in here pretty soon, see if he can get through. I mean, technology is our friend. Yeah, right. Okay. And then, there's Don. Hello, Mr. Dix. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. Just pulled in to the landing strip here.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Everybody, this is Don Dix here joining us on the Conservative Syndicate. We should applaud Don for being safe and making it to his domicile safely.
Amen. Crazy days out on the freeway, crazy days in Sacramento, and crazy days in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And the world.
Well, crazy depends on... Crazy is a relative term there, Don.
Well, it is. I mean, people on the left would like to... assume that their narrative of crazy and that crazy just got sworn into the White House. We would like to think that crazy was roaming Washington, D.C. on the 21st, all day Saturday. I guess you're right. Crazy is relative.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm going to knit me a little pink hat and go wear it to work tomorrow. I'm not. Yeah.
What an incredible 48 hours, though, this week has already been. I mean, there's just news breaking left and right about what is being done now that Trump has the pen.
Yeah, so you were out on the road, and obviously you probably had the news on while you were traveling, unless you were doing, traveling on the road, listening to some Grateful Dead or something. So, probably had the news on, I figured, Don. So anything exciting while you were on your travels home?
Well, yeah, I mean, posted this to the Facebook. This is breaking news. I guess the House has just passed a bill that will end taxpayer-funded abortion.
Really? The House passed the bill?
The House passed a bill that would end taxpayer-funded abortion, and I'm going to pull up some of the details on it right now, but what I remember reading was that 3 Democrats actually crossed the aisle to join with the Republicans to get this bill passed. Of course, it's got to go through the Senate, and then it's got to go through, I don't think there'll be much trouble getting, Trump's signature on something like this. I think that's why they did it. But it's House Resolution 7, no taxpayer funding for abortion, and Abortion Insurance Full Disclosure Act. It passed by about a 238 to 183. As I mentioned, 3 Democrats crossed the aisle. One from, looks like Illinois, one from Minnesota, one from Texas, and no Republicans voted against the bill. 11 did not vote. But this is being described as legislation that will put in place a complete ban on taxpayer funding of abortions that ensures abortions are not directly funded in any federal government program or department.
Well, that used to be called, I believe, the Hyde Amendment, wasn't it?
Well, I think the Hyde Amendment was something that allowed us to create the the Obamacare, allowed them to carve that out. But no, this is being reported by lifenews.com, January 24th, 6:12 p.m. So that would be 3 o'clock Washington, D.C. time when that was, 9 o'clock Washington, D.C. time when this was passed. No, I'm right.
Yeah.
6 o'clock Washington, D.C., 3 o'clock West Coast. So, again, just, you can't not pay attention to what's going on right now because there is so much. I mean, you've got executive orders about getting the pipelines.
Yeah.
This Dakota pipeline and the
Keystone?
Keystone Pipeline started, along with another executive order that's going to streamline the approval process and the environmental regulatory process. I mean, it's just, one hit after another.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the Congress did that. I really am. It was like, whoa, that's unexpected.
I think we're going to get a lot of those little unexpected presents, and I honestly, I think part of the reason, now I'm not much for conspiracies, Joe. I think you've kind of gotten to know that about me. But
well, they're very complicated.
Well, they can be, but here's I would be willing to wager, not much, maybe $1, that the New York Times broke that whole argument, knowing a little bit about how thin-skinned our president is. They broke that story with the pictures about the attendance and figured this is a great way to needle Donald Trump because he's going to pick up the fight, and pick up the fight he did indeed. But what it also did was it obscured, there was a lot of news out of Washington, D.C. on Saturday of, what was going on in terms of these protests and the behavior of the protesters.
Yeah.
Same thing on Friday with the anarchists that were shutting down entrances to the inauguration, watch areas. There were sections of these watch areas that were actually where protesters locked arms in front of the entrances, and people couldn't get in. That's one reason why you saw fewer people showing up.
Everybody was being wanted and checked for weaponry and everything else. So you weren't just allowed to just walk up to the mall.
Right. Yeah, they had magnetometers and areas you had to walk through and stuff like that. But I kind of feel that they invoked that whole narrative, A, to needle Trump, B, Barack Obama is their hero, and they don't want anybody smashing his record, so they wanted to make sure that wasn't up for dispute. But they also, I think, did it to step on any news regarding the protest, because it was looking bad. Anybody who was on the ground knew exactly what was going on between, just the random fights between the protesters, what they were doing, the smashing. They didn't want that news to surface. So I have a feeling that they created that narrative because they knew that the Trump administration would respond and that could dominate the news flow for the next 24 hours. And indeed it did. It was the talk of the Sunday news programs. Of course, some of it was dedicated to the inauguration and the speech and things like that. But a good chunk of it was taken up with the conversation, I know, between Chuck Todd and Kellyanne Conway. Good chunk of that time was taken up with, why did you guys decide to respond the way you did to, Well, I have a feeling they wanted to drive the narrative. And I think it sends a new message to them. There's a new way of doing business there when it comes to the media. So, Don, we're going to have to go and take a break here right now. So, very good. Well, we'll get back to all of this when we come back from our break. Joe Hakos here with Don-Dix on the Conservative Syndicate. We'll be right back.
State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth, and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook, and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call. But I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-380-2906. That's 800-380-2906. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-380-2906.
And now back to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives.
All right, folks. Joe Hayco's here with Donald-dix here on the Conservative Syndicate. Having a good time. Winding up the show on the downhill slide of the show here, Don. So I guess we better pick it up a couple notches. Did you see that link I sent you, Don?
I have only sat down in front of my computer, Joe.
Oh, okay. Well, we were talking about some news about that you got on the way home, and then I just found this link here. It came out. It's from Reuters at been 7:15 Eastern time, 6:15 my time. So it's barely 15 minutes old. And then Trump is expected to sign executive orders on immigration. Check this out, Bon. U.S. President Donald Trump is expected to sign several executive orders on Wednesday restricting immigration from Syria and 6 other Middle Eastern or African countries, according to several congressional aides and immigration experts briefed on the matter. In addition to Syria, Trump's orders are expected to temporarily restrict access to the United States for most refugees. Another order will block visas from being issued from, or being visas issued to, Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Said the aides and experts who asked not to be identified. Of course they asked not to be identified. Are you kidding me? Trump's restrictions on the refugees likely include a multi-month ban on admissions from all countries until the State Department and Department of Homeland Security can increase the intensity of the vetting process. So, let's see. Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. None of those places seem to be a problem area, right?
Yeah, this is just the speed at which things are going. And I remember watching a little bit of MSNBC and seeing I think this was the Rachel, or as some people like to say it, the Richard Maddow show. And she was talking about how she didn't see how, Trump was going to be able to get anything done because they barely got, the 600 positions in the White House that need to be filled. And the Trump administration is, barely nominated, 30, 35 people. Nothing's going to get done. You've got to have these positions filled. This is just another sign of the ineptness of the Trump administration. And, I'm thinking to myself, have you ever been in business for yourself when it's just you and you got to get everything done? See, far too many people have never had that experience of signing the front side of a paycheck, of having to watch, their budget, of having to, realizing that, when you spend a buck, that's a buck you're going to have to go out and earn in order to replace that buck.
Yeah.
You just can't turn up the heat on the taxpayer in order to get more money. Well, so they're lamenting this, and meanwhile, as far as I can tell, this guy is not letting any grass grow under his feet. He is moving very quickly. Yeah. And I got, besides what you've mentioned, which is great, of course, we now are getting a little clarity on the Supreme Court pick. It looks like we're going to get news on that next week, and that process can get underway. Of course, the Democrats in the Senate are trying to do whatever they can do to hold back confirmation on some of these key positions. We're just getting news, now that, the General Michael Flynn, who is serving as Donald Trump's national security advisor, has now been cleared of any wrongdoing regarding conversations between Flynn and Russian operatives that were first reported by the Washington Post. That's all been cleared up. I don't know if you're familiar with this character, but there's a guy by the name, I use the word character affectionately. There's a character by the name of Dr. Sebastian Gorka, who's been a frequent contributor on Fox. Yes. He's written a book called Defeating Jihad, The Winnable War. Probably one of the clearest articulators of what it takes in order to defeat jihad and describe, what this threat that we're up against in America from a military standpoint. And he's been now, we've just learned, recruited by the Trump administration to come in and be an advisor on on national security related topics. And that's a sad bit of news, quite frankly, for me, only because we, Dr. Sebastian Gorka is a friend of our radio programs. He was a frequent contributor to that. Loved his Facebook postings. His Facebook page has been taken down per, I'm sure, national security related, concerns.
Yeah, of course they will.
Yeah, so we've lost somebody in the public realm, but I couldn't ask for the Trump administration to pick a better advisor in that area. So between the news that you're sharing about getting ready to sign an executive order to be more discerning about immigration from these hotspots, I think is probably a good way to characterize them. They're bringing the right people on, and it's just happening so quickly. I mean, it's here we are. We're each informing each other of stuff, and we're regular consumers of this.
Yeah, and you were saying that these folks are lamenting that Donald Trump is signing executive orders. Hey, hello, guess what? You weren't even lamenting any of the stuff when Barack Obama was doing it. You die from the pen. You die with the pen and from the pen.
Exactly, ways. And especially from the standpoint that, as far as we know, and I haven't read many of these executive orders. I don't even know if I would know if something was being done. The problem that we had wasn't the number of executive orders that Barack Obama signed, because he actually signed less than George Bush. It was that they were outside his authority to sign these. That's the problem.
Yeah. I get that, but it's like, but it was okay, and I think it was Senator Ted Cruz said, "Hey, you guys, watch this. You're not going to like it when it happens to you." Basically,
right? Yep.
And so that's where they're at. It's like, okay, and I'm not totally thrilled with executive orders. This overreach of the executive branch. I'd like to see it done more through the legislative process. That's why I said I was surprised at the congressional act that was signed today and headed over to the Senate and maybe gets through there on the abortion thing. I would love to see more of that. Because that's done in law. Then that doesn't just arbitrarily get thrown away at this, with the stroke of a pen.
Right. No, this is all good stuff, and so far I haven't seen. There's nothing that I have seen so far, and I was not a Trump fan, so I'm going to be viewing this critically. I'm going to be watching for the things that I would watch for, not only for any president, but somebody that I have concerns about. But when you have union leaders that go to the White House and meet with Trump, and leave and say, we like this guy.
Yeah.
This guy wants to create jobs. He wants to support, those kinds of things that, hey, the bottom line is, unions thrive when, the jobs are ramping up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you had the auto manufacturers in there today, the CEOs of those guys, Chrysler, Detroit, or Chrysler, GM, and Ford. And they're like, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, cool.
These leaders are happy about the fact that Trump has scrapped the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Oh, amen to that. I love that. Yes, I definitely applaud that. Next thing we need to do is have him, roll back the stuff on the net neutrality rules. Yeah,
in fact, who's the guy that was raising the alarm on that at the FCC?
Yeah, Ajit Pai.
Right, yes, exactly. He's going to be moved to be the head of the FCC, as I understand.
Yeah, I know there's an opening in Mr. Trump, because I think there are 2 openings now, and Ajit's still on board, so he can actually put 2 others on board so they can kind of stack the deck.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay for it. I'm absolutely okay with that. Don, let's go for another short break here, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up the show. What do you think about that?
Sure enough. Let's go.
All right, brother. So Joe Hakos with Don Dix here on the Conservative Syndicate. Run a short break here, pay the bill, and then we'll be right back.
Since its founding, America has always been admired and envied throughout the world for its system of government, one that empowers its citizens to seek their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No other country or nation in history has benefited from its diversity simply due to the opportunities available to anyone from anywhere. But there have been and are those who envy our freedom for a very different reason. And today we find ourselves as never before being threatened by this formidable foe intent on our destruction. For this reason, Act for America exists. Act for America is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan, grassroots national security organization with over 300,000 members and 1,000 chapters focused on educating, engaging, and mobilizing citizens and elected officials to impact legislative outcomes to protect America against terrorism both here and abroad. As a result, our network has driven the education process toward the successful passage of 43 bills in 22 states. We continue to expand our nationwide volunteer chapter network, training citizens to recognize and help prevent criminal activity and terrorism in the United States while preserving the civil liberties protected by the United States Constitution. To find out more, check us out at actforamerica.org. That's actforamerica.org.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative-syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
Yeah, American. Speaking American. Anyway, Joe Hakos here with Don Dix. Told you it's going to be a short break. Glad to have you guys here. Please go out and check out our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. You can check out all the archives, share them with your friends, your enemies, your frenemies, whatever you want to call them. Check it out. See who our contributors are. All the fun stuff. You can get everything you want to know right there in one place. theconservativesyndicate.net. Don, I hope you liked that last spot.
That was a great spot. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Act for America, great organization. Find a chapter in your area. Get connected to folks that are concerned about national security and spreading a important message on radical and political Islam.
Yeah, I think and spreading the message and just let your representatives know that you are involved, because as I was doing before you came on, Don, I was talking about how these folks are going to work for Donald Trump's impeachment. And they think they can go ahead and set that up. In fact, the one individual, what's his name here? David Brock has an organization out there called American Bridge, and he's going to use that super PAC to go ahead, and they've got their Donald Trump war room all set up with hundreds of hours of videos, etc. And they're just to use it against Donald Trump to try to get him out of office through impeachment, no less. And unfortunately, that individual down near your neck of the woods, Maxine Waters, has already called for his impeachment.
Right. Yeah, Maxine Waters is a loon. She was one of several participants, just relating a little personal experience with Maxine Waters. Judy Chu and Loretta Sanchez were elected officials that appeared at the invitation of the Orange County Islamic Center to be a part of a panel called Sharia Law and the American Constitution. And yeah, these are individuals that put their hands on a Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution against all, and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And here they have the audacity, really, to embrace something that clearly they don't understand and never took the time to understand.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, you have these people that are going to go about now. As I recall, don't you have to have a majority in the House, in the Senate, in order to get your impeachment done?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to, the charges got to come out of the House, and then you got to get it to go, and the trial gets done by the Senate. And it's like, yeah, that's really going to happen right now. Maybe in a couple years, maybe if no one decides to get off their duff and make sure that they keep people in line, and maybe, God forbid, a Democrat Party takes over the House or the Senate, maybe then it will happen. But yeah, it's a pipe dream, and it's just ridiculous. All it's intended to do is just slow everything down, muddle the process, and try to stop the demise of the Democrat agenda. And I'd just love to see the Democrat agenda be set back to, like I was saying earlier in the show, I don't know. Actually, I'd like to see it go back to about 1912, but I don't know. Settle for something in the early 60s, maybe. The early 1960s.
We need to acknowledge, first of all, that while it's great to have somebody that appears to be doing and living up to the campaign promises that pushed him across the finish line, he seems to be touching all the bases right now. No matter what he does in Washington, D.C., this does not win the battle at the community level. It's wind at our backs at most. But more importantly now, it's even more important for people to get involved in their communities, Joe, so that they can begin to make sure that the people at these lower levels of governance, city council, school boards, water district, this is the farm team from which, congressmen, senators, even presidents, most of the time, are, raised up from.
Yep.
And if you're not watching your P's and Q's, you bet what happened in our neck of the woods here in Assembly District 60 in California, where a Republican ends up getting beaten by a Democrat with no political experience, no business experience, highly funded by the Democratic Party, and she ends up winning by 10 points in a conservative area. This guy ran a horrible campaign, but that's what happens, and that's where we're going to continue to push back this tide. And this is exactly what you mentioned, David Brock. This is exactly what the left is doing.
Yeah,
they are going to begin doing, what the people that animated the Tea Party back in 2009. The left is going to be animated by those things now, and it's even more importantly that we dig in and entrench conservative values in every institution that we can get.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be worried about the guys like Brock because they got the money to do this. They got the money. And that's the problem. I mean, the Tea Party was so disorganized, but this guy's got an organization and the money. He can make this happen, and he'll make it painful. And if you don't watch out, it's going to be exactly like that. You're going to find out. You wake up one day and you're going to be wondering what happened. Yeah, we might, as you say, have the wind at our back, so to speak. But I think all it's doing is clearing the smoke from our eyes right now. We need to make sure we can see clearly and move forward and make sure that this stuff doesn't happen again.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's important people get involved. It's nice to see these great headlines and to see these, these laws and executive orders that are supported by our conservative beliefs and the direction that we think the country should go. But we got to take back our schools, Joe. I mean, there is it's very interesting out here in California. Every state has this. Every state creates a framework for their education curriculum.
Yes.
In their primary grades. And out here in California, we have a battle coming up because the progressives have gotten a hold of the education curriculum, and they've taken it in a much more progressive, liberal direction. We have something out here in California. It's called SB. It was a Senate bill, Senate Bill 48, that requires, education in our primary grades of individuals who are homosexuals that have a place in history. So if you have a significant politician that happens to be a homosexual, it's required that the students learn about that. If you have I'm just giving that as an example, but there's a focus now on individuals, gay, LGBT, and now Q, I guess, individuals who have made contributions to America that becomes part of history. Well, we just learned, for instance, that the progressive gay agenda here in California has gone to the Department of Education and upgraded the mandate of this law, exceeded the legal requirement, which is mostly just a suggestion, and has now created a whole curriculum inside of our school system that goes way beyond the intention of SB 48 to include this. And now, not just the history and the contributions of these people, but is going to begin normalizing homosexuality within our grade schools. So it's gone beyond teaching history, and it's gone into advocating political advocacy. And this is the kind of thing, this is the mission creep that's happening with the progressives, and they are being successful.
Yeah.
And so this is the area we got to start focusing on.
Well, it's the area. That's the reason why you need to take over your school boards and your school districts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's. I mean, it's right there, and be involved in that, and start from there. Yeah, but I've been saying it for a long time. This starts at home, and works out from your neighborhood to your local city hall or whatever it might be, and then go from there up to your state capital. Lord knows if it ever makes up to your state capital there in California. But I don't know if we'll ever see that. Don, we're working towards the end of the show here, brother. So I'm going to give you plenty of opportunity to tell folks how to get involved, stay involved, and absolutely find out where they can hear you.
Well, bless you. I'm privileged to be on the radio every day from 6 to 7 Pacific time on a Salem Radio Network station out here in Southern California. It is AM 590 The Answer. Folks, if they want to tune in, it's a great lineup. Rush Limbaugh from 9 to 12. Michael Medved, who got a little bit off the track there during the election. Very critical of Trump, but now he's starting to see the light. Then Larry Elder, great new talk radio show, and then following Larry Elder, is the Jen and Don show. So you can listen on the app or online, and then all I can do is tell folks to follow their passion. If you have an issue that you are passionate about, mine was national security, which is why I got connected to Act for America. But no matter what the issue is, if you have an issue you're passionate about, let that drive you into your area of activism and get involved. We absolutely have to take advantage of this window of opportunity that's been granted to us for 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to stay involved. Got to stay dedicated to it and never give up. I mean, they're never going to give up, so we should not give up as well. So thanks, Don. Appreciate you being here. We got to come up and end the show, brother.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's always an honor to be with you, and hope John is having a safe trip over to the Philippines, right?
Yeah, he's over there in the Philippines. Hopefully he's got great weather and great fun, and he's safe. That's the main thing, and he makes it back safe. That's really the only thing I care, that he's just being safe and having fun. So, yeah. Cool, brother. We'll have to do this again. So
God bless.
Maybe John will be here next time.
All right.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks, Don. Hey, folks, we got to end the show here. This is Joe Hakos here at the Conservative Syndicate. Time to end the show. We love you guys. We thank you for being here. We know you can do other things, and we really do appreciate you being out there. So God bless you all.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life, it only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.